Are you looking for easy before school breakfast ideas that will keep your kids full until lunch? I'm Christine, and if you're new here, I want to welcome you to Christine's Natural Kitchen, where I make healthy eating delicious and simple. Today I'm going to show you how to make a delicious breakfast smoothie using avocados, believe it or not, as well as some fun carrot spice waffles and egg muffin cups, which are perfect for busy mornings. All of the ingredients I'm using are compliments of Basil Bandwagon Natural Market, my favorite place to shop.
Some really filling, nutritious ingredients that will keep your child feeling full. So we're going to use 1 avocado, a 1/4 cup of pumpkin puree, 1 heaping tablespoon of carob powder, or you can use cocoa powder. And then over here's a little 1/8 of a teaspoon of vanilla powder, or you can use a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I've also got this vanilla cream flavored stevia, or you can use honey. To begin with, we're going to start by making our coconut milk from scratch. You can either use a cup of prepared coconut milk out of a can, or you can take a 1/4 cup of shredded unsweetened coconut, place that in a high-powered blender, and add 1 cup of water. And we're going to blend the heck out of this. Now at this point you can either strain it and chill it, or you can keep the texture in there if you don't mind a little bit of the shredded coconut texture. It's really up to what you think your child will prefer. I just want to mention this super handy option for smoothies where Basil Bandwagon carries this frozen avocado. So it's in bite-sized pieces, and that's really handy because it's already cold. It will add a nice chill to the smoothie. But today we're just going with the fresh avocado in there. Now I'm going to use my stevia, and I'm going to be fairly generous. I'm going to add a pretty full dropper of this because it just really adds a nice touch and doesn't add any refined sugar. Maybe even a little touch extra. And if you're using honey, I would say just start out with maybe a tablespoon and see where that gets you. And there we go, a delicious, creamy, caroby, or chocolatey, if you prefer chocolate, smoothie. So I ended up adding a little bit more stevia, another whole dropper full, just because it needed a little more sweetness. Now this is not super cold, so we can either chill it, or you can add ice when you're blending. And there you go, a rich, thick, delicious, and nourishing breakfast option for your kids or mom. Cheers! To make our carrot spice waffles, I've got some great ingredients here that are going to make these nutritious and rich in protein. So I've got almond flour, 3/4 cup of fine almond flour, 2 tablespoons of coconut flour, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and in here I have 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla powder, or you could use a teaspoon or 2 of pure vanilla extract. I have a 1/2 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, or you could use cinnamon. And then I have 2 tablespoons of a no sugar sweetener from Lakanto. It's monk fruit sweetener with erythritol, and this is the golden variety. Now just whisk together your dry ingredients. I'm adding 1/2 cup of almond milk. Or if you're doing nut-free, you can use coconut milk, 2 pasture-raised eggs. And now I'm going to whisk this together. And now I'm going to fold in some shredded carrots. That was 1/2 cup of grated carrots. Stir that throughout the batter. And now we are ready to make our waffles. So I've heated up my waffle iron. It's nice and hot and ready to go. It does have a nice ceramic non-stick surface, but I'm going to very lightly grease it with some avocado oil. You definitely want to use a high heat oil for this. And you may want to run the vent in your kitchen because it does start to smell a little bit right away. Now, I'm using a Belgian waffle iron, so I'm going to add a fair amount of batter here, but if you have a regular waffle iron, you may not need as much. I'm just sort of generously spreading this around. It's about a cup or so of batter. And you just want to kind of evenly spread it. Close your waffle iron. So we're going to want to cook our waffle for about 4 minutes total. It's been a couple of minutes, so I'm going to flip this over now. And we'll cook it for a couple of minutes on the other side. You'll probably notice some steam coming out the sides of your waffle iron while it's cooking, and this is normal. Okay, so our time is up. I unplugged my waffle iron. And I'm going to let this cool down slightly before opening it up to see our lovely waffle. Okay, let's open it up and see what it looks like. Now, it didn't go quite to the edges, so if you really want to fill up your waffle maker, you could use even a little bit more. And you just want to carefully take these out with something that won't scratch the surface. Or you may want to just let it cool longer. I think this is a little soft. I'm going to let it cool up a little bit so it's easier to handle. All right, so let's pop this waffle out of here and just transfer it on a plate to cool all the way. Get out any little stray waffle crumbs like so, because those will burn the next time around. So now I've plugged back in the waffle iron. I'm going to let that heat up for my second waffle. Now I'm going to make my topping for the waffles. So I'm taking 1/4 cup of almond butter, and this is the sprouted variety, and 1/4 cup of maple syrup. And just stir these together. The nice thing about this is that the protein from the almond butter helps to balance out the sugar, so that it's just a little bit more gentle and won't give you that sugar spike as much once you have the protein from the waffles and the protein from the almond butter topping. So this just makes a nice variation on the usual toppings for waffles. Now drizzle the nice warm waffles with however much of the maple almond butter you like. Feel free to add any fruit toppings. To make our egg muffin cups, I'm heating up a skillet here. This is a cast iron skillet, but you can use any skillet you like. And I have 2/3 cup of diced red onion. And you can add oil if you like, but I'm going to add a little splash of water instead. And a little pinch of sea salt. And we're just going to cook these on medium heat until they start to soften. So for 3 to 4 minutes. After 3 to 4 minutes, I'm going to add my carrot. I've got 2/3 cup of very small diced carrot. Add another little pinch of salt. And you can add another little splash of water if you like. And just cook and stir these together for another 3 minutes or so until the carrots are nice and tender. While we're waiting for the onion and carrot to cook, I'm going to go ahead and get the eggs ready. So I've got 10 eggs cracked in here. These are pasture-raised eggs. And I'm going to just beat this together. And now I'm adding 1 teaspoon of prepared Dijon mustard, 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, and a few pinches of freshly ground cracked black pepper. So here I have a 12 muffin cup. This is a stainless steel one. I really like it. And I've lightly sprayed each tin with a little bit of coconut oil, or you could use avocado oil. I've got my oven preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now that my onions and carrots have finished cooking, I'm going to go ahead and evenly disperse this, putting a spoonful in each tin. Here I've got 2/3, actually it's more like 1 cup of cooked broccoli, and I'm going to take a little pinch of this and put some of this in each tin. You can feel free to mix it up if you want to use other vegetables of your choice, like sauteed leeks, sauteed mushrooms, sauteed zucchini could be nice. But generally you want your vegetables to be pre-cooked. I find if you put in the raw vegetables, they release water and you may not get the best results. Now I'm going to pour a little bit of my egg mixture into each tin. And you don't want these too full because they will puff up during baking. Now we're going to carefully put these into our preheated oven and bake them for about 23 minutes.
Well, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did and that you get a chance to try these recipes yourself. Let me know in the comments below what one of your all-time favorite breakfast recipes is. I'd be so curious to find out. And if you found this video helpful, I'd be super grateful if you give it a thumbs up. When you subscribe and hit the notification bell, you'll find out about new cooking videos when they come out. Thanks for watching and see you again soon.